This podcast contains discussions about sensitive topics, including mental health, alcohol and substance use, as well as suicide. It may also include strong language. The viewpoints expressed by guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the hosts. Listener discretion is advised. If you or someone you know needs support, please reach out to a trusted professional or a helpline. Welcome to Twist the Throttle, the podcast where we crank open the throttle on life's toughest rides. From mental health struggles to life on two wheels. We're here to have real, raw, unscripted conversations that break the stigma and help you navigate the road ahead. So grab your helmet, hit the road with us, and remember, it's still okay to pump the brakes. Together, we're shifting gears on mental health. Here's your hosts, Ambo and the Prez.
Well, welcome back. This is another week has passed, and today we've got Steve from G-Town Bobbers. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good lads. How he is?
Yeah, good, mate.
Happy Friday.
Welcome in, Steve. We've met. We're doing a bit of a collaboration with a couple of the Geelong crews and Melbourne crews coming up in March.
Going to be a big one.
Going to be huge. We'll go a bit more detail about that a bit later. But at the moment, we start most shows with the same question, mate. What do you ride?
15 Softail Slim.
Nice.
All right.
What drew you to that bike in particular?
Probably the bobbed out look.
Yeah.
You know, the name's in the G-Town Bobbers.
G-Town Bobbers.
I think we all had the same bike starting off, the XV S650s.
Damn right. Yeah,
and mine was bobbed out to the max, so that's sort of the closest style.
Yeah.
And that was a good price, so I got it.
Done any work to it?
Just stage one. I actually got rammed up the backside like the first week I had it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, by another rider on one of our rides. Well, that was a free set of pipes.
Yeah,
So it was all right for me.
Isn't group riding it'd be good fun, yeah?
It is, yeah. No, he was just not paying attention for those 2 seconds, mate. And then straight at me backside.
That's all it takes.
So if money wasn't an issue, what would you get? What would be your dream bike?
To be honest, probably a Vickler.
Yeah. There's some pretty cool ones out there.
I don't know if you've seen the all blacked out one that was at the Victor Lashl's. I think it was.
Mate, the Vickler Nationals were crazy.
Right. There was an all blacked out thing with like dish wheels and that. That was right up my alley. Yeah. Something like that.
I've got the 18-inch Carlinis and on a old deluxe.
Yeah.
Fuck, I love it. But
yeah. They're just good.
You would have seen Ambo riding it around.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of a chat earlier. You mentioned you didn't actually start riding a bike till you were 35. What was the first bike you said you got was a XVS 650?
Yeah. Yamaha bobber, mate. Yeah.
Do you remember the first ride or what it felt like first time jumping on a bike that late in life?
Well, it wasn't actually that bike. So I was riding around unlicensed for a little while on a neighbour's bike when I was a security guard in Geelong.
Nice.
I just jumped on that. But yeah, that first time he said yes, I was all grins for a few days. Yeah.
It's an undescribable feeling, isn't it?
It is insane. But yeah, I rode, mates' dirt bikes and that, but had a bit of trouble with that when I was young.
I've got a couple of questions about that.
Yeah.
How does riding a Softail Slim silence the noise of the world for you?
As soon as you click the button, everything goes away for me. Yeah. It's not mine's more like a busy brain of just things that I think I need to do all the time when I probably don't. I can take a step back and just try and relax a bit. I've always been probably a little bit highly strung.
Yeah.
My missus will be laughing if she hears it. She'll be like, what do you mean highly?
Yeah, just a little.
Just a bit aggro on that. It's like that funny ad when that lady's turning the lights off at the end of the night and all the proud noise disappears.
Yeah.
As soon as I click that button, mate, it's all gone.
So riding seems to be a form of therapy for you?
Yeah, it is. You have a bad day. Everything irritates you. A lot easier, and I don't want to take that out on my kids and that. So
absolutely.
I'll live in a place called Lara,
and
it's got a joint called the U-Gangs, and
that's beautiful around there.
Right.
I just get 5-minute ride up top of there, take a breath, and
it's good and a nice place to go and relax. Yeah, lots of bush and critters cruising around,
it is.
Birds and whatnot.
So I've
climbed up there a couple of times with the young fella.
So what's your favourite type of riding? Are you a twisties guy? Are you a group ride solo?
I'm a light to light kind of guy.
Yeah.
I sort of learned how to drop my clutch pretty hard lately, and that's why I've got knee tyres.
Right up to the speed limit as fast as we can.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, always just on the speed limit.
Do you have any bucket list rides that you want to do in the future?
After talking to a few people, probably New Zealand. Would be.
I grew up in New Zealand. There lots of you pretty much call it Great Ocean Road everywhere.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying.
But they reckon Tasmania's a lot like that too. Yeah,
well, that's another one.
And I haven't been to Tasmania. I've been over there working, but I haven't been over there cruising around.
I've driven Tassie down through the guts. And apparently there's an East Coast road and a West Coast road. The East Coast ride is meant to be much better, like through the hills and all the
forestry and stuff like that. Yeah,
the West Coast ride is more fishing towns and stuff like that. But
yeah, that'd be second on the list. I reckon,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're doing the collaboration for Dolly's Dream. You're part of G-Town Bobbers, bringing your name into that fold. Tell us a little bit about G-Town.
So yeah, it probably stems around the bike I got first. So it was it all bobbed out. Found myself riding alone a lot, which I didn't mind, but at times I was just like, imagine if I could just have that camaraderie of 10 solid dudes.
Yeah,
cruising around.
Wearing the same hoodie and having that feel of like what you guys do with the SMCs and what the motorcycle clubs do, but without the bullshit.
Well, we started exactly the same, mate. We started as a hoodie club and then we just grew and
and that was COVID times too at work, sitting there bored, and I'm like, I'll just do this. So I made the holders on myself just on like paint.
So you still have a fair crew?
Yeah, well, the page never tells the truth. There's 600 or 700 on my page, but I've got that solid 10. Probably 4 or 5 of them have been real good mates now after being sort of around each other for 3 years. Yeah. The rest come and go, but there's always that same unit.
Yes, you put up a ride, you can get some people there.
You could have 3 some days and you can have 53 another weekend, but...
I seen you recently down at the Geelong Bike Night. It was a really enjoyable night.
It was packed.
Yeah, it was really good. So hopefully we'll do that again very soon.
Yeah, and, I think it's great, yeah.
We might even have some rides coming up shortly, just normal runs heading up to Hillsville or... wherever.
We're going to try and get the nuts out a bit more this year. So
yeah, I'll try. Well, I was doing 2 a month, definitely, just for G-Town ones, and anyone and everyone's allowed to come. We don't care what you ride, who you are, girl, bloke, what doesn't matter. Then I had some issues, obviously, with me back last year, and that led to a lot of downtime and not really doing much with it.
You mentioned earlier, we kind of skipped over a little bit, you rode a mate's dirt bike when you were about 19. Had a pretty serious life-changing accident. Tell us a little bit about
that. A good mate of mine, he was a good proper racer, like dirt bike racing, motocross. He was riding that. So he had a YZF 450.
I had a WR 426.
Yeah. Oh, it was? No, sorry.
Yeah.
426.
I seen the questions. And I actually had one of them, but I had the road version, and man, that was a weapon of them.
That was silly for me to even think, but my mate Cookie probably should have said,
nah, too powerful.
Not a good first bike to run.
No. So I ended up taking that around Lara, kind of still a country, rural town back then. Thought I was a hero, go down the sort of BMX and track and try and do a couple of jumps, and my second attempt I end up snapping my femur in half, knocking all my front teeth out, and was stuck down there for I don't know how many hours until someone found me. It was dark by the time they found me down there in the quarry. So they found me, went to hospital, and I was put in a coma for I think 7 days.
Yeah, you hit your head really hard, did you?
Well, that was all like vomiting and it getting caught in my lungs, so then I got pneumonia.
Oh, crap.
And then they just put me out for a while to so breathing for me.
Yeah, so that's enough to put you off motorbikes for a fucking long time.
You know what?
Broken femurs, that's a big bone to break too.
That was pretty brutal, yeah.
Wow.
It didn't put me off though.
Yeah, do you remember a lot of it? You were conscious for a little bit of it?
I was out for probably, I don't know how long, but because what had happened is obviously I went to jump. The bars have come up and smashed in your face.
Yeah.
And they actually, when I got the helmet back, you could pull the helmet completely backwards on itself. It was cracked from the front where the eyes are all the way to the back.
At least you're wearing a helmet.
Yeah, luckily. Yeah. So that was brutal. But it didn't deter me. I always wanted to get one, but my parents hated it.
Yeah.
And when I did get one, they
weren't happy about it.
Not really.
You mentioned that before the accident, you were pretty good at most of the sports. What sports were you good at? What were you playing?
Oh, footy, basketball as juniors, flat out. Being the size I am, I'm not a small unit. So ruck and full forward in footy. I was never great. Like I was, runners up Essendon Fields a few times and stuff like that. But I was never the best. I was just good at everything.
Yeah.
And then I played softball, believe it or not, for Victoria. So nice. I went to the Nationals and stuff with that, really. Yeah. It was just after that I had the stats.
So you would have lost a bit of your identity in...
Well, you do. You go from a sort of, that was your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Complete lifestyle.
And then you've lost that.
And then it turned to music because my brother was in band. So then it was just music. And then later on, jiu-jitsu and fighting. I didn't work for a long time. I was a bit of a layabout. After, my parents fucking split when I was 18. So... it's probably a worse time than when you're real young because you know what's...
Yeah, you know what's going on.
You got more questions to ask yourself or ask your parents and go, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
How can these two, like, iconic, and, like, to me, that was the
rock solid. They weren't fighting in front of you. You couldn't tell it. All of a sudden, they just went, we're not together anymore.
Not together. And I remember the day, and it was a horrible time.
Yeah.
I played up for a while after that. Didn't care.
You kind of brushed over a little bit there. You had a pretty serious back injury and surgery recently.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, that was a ripper.
Happy to talk about that one?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I had a bad back injury probably 8 years ago on the job site, and that was a semi-rupture of the L4, L5 discs, to the point where I was off work for 2 years on compo, and it was just when my firstborn was born. So not being able to lift him,
help out and lift,
doesn't do nothing, man. Like, and that was sort of a little bit mentally draining.
L4's right in between the shoulders, I'm guessing.
Nah, down the bottom.
Down the bottom, other way around.
Other way around.
Same one I broke.
It'd flare up over the years, 2 or 3 times a year, and I'd just deal with it, and then recently, or Feb last year, had a bit of a flare up again, and then I was off work for like a week, and it just started getting real bad where I couldn't even stand up. I was just laying on the lounge room floor for like a week. I said, something's not right. We're going to have to sort it out and stuff. And then once I'd said that to myself, went to sleep that night, and I woke up and I couldn't feel anything from my waist down.
Shit, that's scary.
That's called a thing called quarter equina syndrome. Cuts off your nerve because it squashes against your spinal cord. Your spinal cord squashes against your spine itself. That was a bit of a fuck around, and then Geelong Hospital weren't much help and didn't send me straight away. And there was another week laying on the floor, and then went back in there, and they're like, "Oh no, we didn't do an MRI. We should have." Overnight, straight to Royal Melbourne for surgery. 6-hour surgery.
Crazy.
And that was a horrible time again.
So you're still riding with back pain?
Through the years I was. After this one, it was a little while, but it was just until the doctor said I could. I was straight back on it again. I mean, after surgery was something completely different. That I could put my socks and shoes on for the first time in probably 2 years.
Yeah, so I've had debilitating back pain as well when I got my bike stuck in the bush. And I had to get my son to help me tie my shoelaces. It was terrible. I couldn't do anything.
No, it's terrible.
Fucking lying in bed in pain and agony, trying to get up every morning to go to work. I was still working during it as well. That's the hardest part.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And trying to smile for everyone else when you're just, full on getting pretty,
So how's your perspective on life changed since experiencing such pain and recovery from these couple of big serious injuries?
I mean, the first one, I was young and silly, so it sort of just went so fast, as like your parents said to you when you were a kid, "Oh, it'll go by like a flash life," and you're like, "Yeah, right." And then now I'm 40. It was when I was 19, so I didn't really think about it back then. This one though, like I said, with the kid, when the first happened, that 2 years was horrible. Worst time for me and my missus. Food stamps, all that real horrible shit just to keep our house. And then you think you're all good. And then this time was probably the mental health side of things came in this time a little bit for me, and never really dealt with it a lot. But this time it sort of got to me and started,
Yeah, it's hard when you've got family at home. You've got to try and provide for. I mean, I lost my license for 12 months and I still had to push my bike to work every day.
Yeah. That's
rain, hail or shine.
Yeah.
To keep food on the table and, roof over everybody's head. So I understand the pain, It really does fuck with your head.
It does fuck with you. It was just more like the fact that you got to try and be like, it's this stigma that everyone's trying to fight for now. So, oh man, you can't be weak, can't be weak. I never really got it properly until like now. Like I said, through my life, it's been a lot of other people I know have had those issues. But I never really, I was just a pretty easygoing and it'll be all right, she'll be right type dude. So, and I was taught that from a young age from my dad. Nothing's ever that bad to just come out of it,
You mentioned to us privately before the podcast about growing up in Lara, which was at the time considered the suicide capital of Australia.
I don't know about the years, just how old I was. I was 15 at the time, and one of our close mates was the same, and he killed himself. And that hit the town and all of us boys, and we were all pretty close. It was probably, we all went to primary school, we all started high school, and we went to different high schools. We played footy together. Everyone knew everyone. So when that happened, that was in a time where it was, I don't know why, but it was just our town and Little River, which is next to it, was insane. I can probably count over 15 people that I knew in a span of 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
And that was from footy coaches to mums and dads to little sisters to older brothers of friends to friends. And then when I was, don't quote me on ages again, I can't even remember how old I was, a really, really close friend in it, and that was just, seeing his parents go through all that.
Was there a cause behind it? Was there? No, they're just
girlfriends fighting, splitting up,
it's
things like silly stuff. And when you're that age too, and you're so much,
it seems serious. Yeah,
it seems so serious, and the world's going to end. It can't do this with it, but you can. Yeah, like it's
everybody's going to know about it because I live in a little town.
Yeah, and it was just in between Lara and Little River. It was just really horrible for a lot of years there. It was happening a lot.
Yeah, one of the things you were pretty proud of when we spoke was, you've always been there for your mates. How did that affect or shape your outlook on life and being there for your mates?
My best mate, I've got two best mates, and unfortunately they both don't live down here anymore. One's in Cardiff in Wales, and the other one was in Arnhem Land, like working on a stud farm thing. And
beautiful.
He come back for a little while, but then now he's moved to Queensland. He's got missus and kids, and I love him to death. But he was his best mate, the one I was just speaking about, 15, and he
took it hard.
He took it real hard.
Yeah.
He didn't show it, but, he didn't go out. He didn't do things. He put on a bunch of weight.
Different bloke afterwards.
Different bloke. And then when I had my accident and could have been close to gone, I was like, oh, who's that out the front pulling up in the VNS? It sounds a bit, And I was like, oh shit, it's Locke. It's Locke, me mate Lockie.
Yeah.
What are you doing? He's like,
pop in.
Might as well hang out with you now because you couldn't have been here like a week ago.
Yeah.
And then we're best mates after that. But that's sort of went into that side of things where you just got to be there. Just got to even just ring, go, hey, going? Yeah, good, I'm busy. Yeah, cool, man.
Yeah, that's important to check in as well. So how do you approach those conversations when you know someone's been struggling?
I'm pretty blatant with it.
Yeah.
Well, you're not right. Tell me, nah, bullshit. Close the door behind us. Yeah. And say,
Jeff's very, very strong about saying, how are you, mate? I want the long version, not the short version.
Yeah, it's a good quote. I heard it on the podcast. I've listened to them all now.
Yeah, we repeat ourselves.
Yeah, but quote, mate, use it because it is. You're just sort of blatant with them because everyone thinks that he's not going to listen or she's not going to listen, and a lot of people have tried to talk to other people too. This is one I hate. Yeah. When I've done it myself, and they get, you fucking grow up, cunt. And you're like, what?
Hang on a minute.
I'm actually asking you for it, like, I'm not feeling great, mate. Oh, you'll be right. Just fucking harden up.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
You've told me all my life, if you need me, I'll fucking need you. But
exactly.
Then they don't.
People who have been at that really dark point know the difference between I'm not doing okay and I'm really fucking struggling.
Yeah, really struggling.
Like if someone doesn't fucking tell me something good right now, this could be the last day. We've, I call it standing on the edge.
Yeah. It's just a lot about body language in there too.
Yeah,
definitely. You can walk into a room and go, all right, solid 10 people here again. They're happy.
Yeah.
Jeez, that kid's not happy.
What's going on over there?
Or that girl's not here. You just tell. Body language is huge.
It's normally, my mates joke that I've got the ability to collect broken toys. Like that's probably the bloke, probably the bloke by the end of the night I'll be sitting next to talking to. Like, just that empathy thing, like you pick it up, like like you say, it's not something you go looking for, but
but you can.
It's sort of like, that guy doesn't look good. I'm going to have a chat. Yeah.
So one of my favourite ones is you've seen somebody that's struggling with their mental health. What would be their first step? What would you recommend to them first? Who would you tell them to go and see first?
Well, probably, just any of their closest friends or even their parents. Like, I know they're a generation, like, I don't know how old you guys are. I'm 40 this year.
48.
42.
Yeah.
All right, so it's still that same generic sort of thing.
Not much changed in that decade.
That's right. Our parents kind of don't get it.
Yeah.
They just don't. But if you tell them properly, they're going to be the first ones. Like, I think of my kid doing it, like, he's only 9 or 10 or 9.5. If he was 15 and come to me and said, like, I'd be like, all right, we're going to sort it out together. We're going to solve this. This is a problem. You're going to work through it. We'll work through it together and do it. Go and, just your loved ones and your closest friends.
Episode with Daisy, Sarge's 13-year-old daughter, which is along those lines.
Yeah. So
who you can talk to and stuff like that.
She was cutting herself. And from my perspective, I'd never gone through that sort of, and I was like, where is she learning this sort of stuff from?
Yeah.
It's hard. It is hard.
Different world now.
Well, that's it. With all the social media and internet and everything like that. Like I grew up Yeah, like I love telling people, I'm older than Google. We didn't grow up with that type of pressure.
No,
we go home at the end of the day, like you can forget about the bully, the prick at school. Yeah, like in the morning you're like, oh fuck, here we go again. But at least you had that time to yourself. They don't get that anymore. Yeah, it's completely different. Yeah.
No, it is. And my young bloke's mad into gaming. Like, but he's good.
Yeah,
like he's playing Fortnite with some of my other mates, teenagers, and they're like, we've had enough of playing with him. He's
kicking.
I love sitting there actually watching my son play Fortnite.
Yeah,
he's really good. He's very talented.
It's like, what do you want to be when you're older? And when you was younger, a programmer or a YouTuber. I'm like, you don't want to be a YouTuber. They're all knobheads. Well, most of them anyway.
It's true. We're content creators.
Yeah.
Have you ever reached out to any of the helplines available, or would you ever recommend anyone to use any of the helplines?
I'd recommend them if they can't find that person to talk to, definitely, yeah. That lifeline is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I've never had to do it.
No, like never done it yourself, yeah.
I've talked to my missus, and my missus has had a few down moments with, not full depression, but a little bit, and she has some anxiety issues too. She just says to me,
of that rock for each other.
Yeah, but just like I said, I'm pretty full on. I'm not feeling, I'm a bit think today. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
That's good.
Yeah. Or I need your help.
I've been in a relationship where that wasn't the case, and you could say, I'm fucking feeling shit, and I'd be like, okay, that's my trigger to poke the bear. But
yeah.
That's called narcissism. And there's plenty of them out.
There is. What strategies do you use personally to push through any tough days?
Just get on the bike.
Jump on the bike. Talk to the missus.
Mate. Yeah, talk to the missus. Like, I'm a pretty lucky dude. I've got a good missus where I can do pretty much whatever I want if I give her at least a week or so's notice. And she's always had me back, and I've always had her back. And yeah, look, we might blue or whatever, but everyone does. And our kids, I love me kids. I love me missus and me boy Kobe. I got to say, shout out Cobes, because he's gonna
listen.
Good on you, mate. What's it on, Dad? He's like, Spotify. I'm like, all right. So shout out to you, my boy. I love you, mate.
Pretty good dad.
Meadow is my daughter, and she is a nutbag.
That's right. So's my daughter. And I love her too.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Yeah, I don't have, like, I'm trying to not sound like a fuckwit, but I don't really have a lot of the issues that a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I'm just a pretty easygoing dude. When shit gets tough, I deal with it, and I just keep on keeping on.
So yeah, you've more been that guy for other people.
Yeah, more so. Like I said, you'll get down, but I've never been like right down to say like suicide or anything for myself, because I'd look at my kids and just be like, no way.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
And there is a thing that I say, and I probably shouldn't say it sometimes. I just, after seeing so much of it when I was young, and seeing what it does to the families, I actually think it's a bit selfish.
In that moment, I've been pretty down and pretty close to that myself, and they can see it as like, I'm helping. Yeah, I'm taking the problem out of the situation. And there's a song by an artist called Ren that's like him fighting with his inner demon, and he gives a speech at the end. It's like, if you try and kill the inner demon, it actually comes back stronger. It's like, you don't need to kill it. You need to learn to dance with it. Yeah, like no one's happy all the time. We've all got that inner voice that's like, you're doing things wrong, where that doesn't need to sit at the head of the table. Yeah, you should be. You've got all your different thoughts in your brain. You don't want that bad voice running the ship. Yeah.
Learn to work with it.
Yeah, work. Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah.
Have you ever had mates that you've had to help out?
Yeah, one or two. I won't say their names because that's to do here. But I've had one or two that I've had to, middle of the night, just go.
Yeah.
In that instant.
Yes.
One of them is almost your dead ringer.
Yeah.
Mate.
I get that a lot.
But he's had a couple but it stems from other things too. Like alcoholism is a fucking brutal thing. It plays a part in some people's mental health issues more than they could have. Yeah, but that's the short answer. Yeah, once or twice I've had to, middle of the night, in my jobs, not even put my clothes on, run straight in the car, go on.
No, that's good, mate.
And just walk in, and then they go, no, I'm all right. I said, well, what do you mean? You're here. That's all I need.
That's all, yeah. Just
so I'm going to stay on the couch now, mate. So let's watch, let's watch a movie, and I'll just stay on the couch. If you're going to go to bed, mate, go to bed, but I'm not leaving now. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.
And then that was, like you said, all I needed was that one person to walk through my door.
Yeah.
When I asked them, not answer or go, man, I'm in bed, fuck off, I'll see you in the morning. Yeah, but only once or twice, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good that you were there for that person.
You told us a pretty powerful mantra in stand up, get up, and keep on keeping on. It's a good little saying to live by. Where does that drive come from for you?
The way I was raised and stuff.
Yeah.
Like my old man always would tell me, you tell me everything. I don't care if you're going to go to jail for it. You tell me first, you tell me the truth, because otherwise I can't back you properly. And just get up, just keep walking forward. It's the same in footy. It's the same in everything.
Yeah.
You get crunched and you're bleeding. Don't show that dude that got you, that hurt you. Just get up and keep walking forward and just keep on going. And a person I knew, his quote, he's a fighter and he's a really good fighter, and he's stand tall, walk forward, and, live to fight another day. And that's pretty much the same thing, but just keep on keeping on. Tomorrow might be the best day you've ever had.
When I was younger, I did a bit of boxing, and I had the little amateur fights. I had 3 amateur fights. I won one on decision. I lost one on decision. I got knocked out. When I got knocked out, I remember waking up, and the ref was 7. I was like, what was that? And I sort of looked over at my coach, and my coach was like, get up. And I was just like, no, I'm good. That was the end of my boxing career in that moment.
Might have been a good idea.
I did not see that guy throw that punch. Or maybe I did, and I just don't remember. But Jesus, keep on keeping on. I was like, no, I think I'm done with this.
So what do you hope people take away from your story of resilience and strength?
Nothing is ever that bad that you can't either overcome it. Talk to me about, this is my father telling me these things. And it doesn't matter how bad it is. It's not that bad that you need to do something drastic. It's not that bad to end your life. It's not. We can always work through shit together.
We can talk this out.
We can talk it out. Tomorrow's another day.
If you're going to go back in time and talk to little Steve, any advice you'd give him?
No, you're a fucking legend. And you know what? You did well, because everyone's like regrets in life. I regret these little things. And you know what? If you say you regret a certain part, that means you might not be where you are now. So that means I might not have met my missus. I met a different person, and then I didn't have, everything has led to me where I am, and I've got a great family and a great life. I may not have all the money in the world. I might not have everything,
Comes and goes, mate. My bank account, you can name it. Mine says in one hand and out the other.
One quote I read that I really loved the other day was, some people are so poor that all they have is money. It's
poor in every other way.
Like, if you haven't got the family, if you haven't got the mates around you haven't got the experience.
I'd agree with that.
That's money. That's right. We only want enough money to keep living out.
And you know what? Things can be bad. It's the same. The whole thing we all have in common is about trying to just put across that things are right. I had me injury that first time you're living on food stamps, to now things, I locked in a mortgage at a good time for a good period of time. That's got us out of the shit the last 4 years. And it got me my bike and a Land Cruiser for the family. And all we did for that was just chuck a bit more on the mortgage, you know what I mean? We're not rich, but we got the car that we know that'll go to 1 million Ks if you service it every time it needs service. And my bike was my thing now. So and I traded my XVS actually and got stupid money for it. I got $9,000 for it.
Oh wow.
So I'm going to put 11.
Not worth that brand new.
They're not, but it was a very, I'll show you later. But it was very nice.
We'll put a picture up on the socials for everybody to have a look at.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about that we haven't discussed or covered today? Mental health related, or business related, or rides related, or anything you want to promote?
Just get on my page if you just want to, Geelong area, Victoria. Check out my page, G-Town Bobber Bros. We just like riding, having a pot and a palmy and talking shit, It's just about being around people, It's not about who's got the best.
Fighting your tribe, we call it.
That's it. It's just, you want to come, you come, you have a good time. I haven't had anyone in the 3 years that have done it say, oh, that ride was shit. That was so boring. I didn't like any of that. That was crap.
So you're going to be going back to Geelong Bike Night? That's a monthly thing. We'll try and get down there.
Yeah, I'd love for you to get a decent crew down, mate. Yeah. We always go, like, it's easy for me. It's 20 minutes. In and out, and just hang out and see.
A little bit of highway riding for us, but
that's all good.
That's all good when you're cruising down with a bunch of blokes.
This highway's actually pretty awesome. Past us out 6 there. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Geelong's a very underrated place, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the beach down there. I love the foreshore.
Oh, Eastern Beach is good, isn't it?
Eastern Beach is absolutely phenomenal for the kids and everything like that. The people around too, like I said, that's one I will touch on. Just the people you meet in the bike community. Like everyone said in your episodes, everyone says, and I'll say it again, we may look big and scary, and to say me and you standing together in full kit, everyone would shit their pants.
Absolutely.
Friendliest people.
There you go, mate. Where are you from? What town?
Exactly right.
I'm a gentle giant until you get to a limit.
Exactly,
But it's a good community, and I've met a lot of people, and a bunch of other riders groups, and a bunch of, even the guys at Geelong Harley, mate. Through me mate Brendan, who you guys have, we haven't met, but you've talked to. You'll meet him soon. I met Webby through them, and Webby's the general manager at Geelong. His wife, Mariah, she details all our bikes. She's really good. and just just more and more and more people, and it's a big community now. So it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Something to have and go somewhere and people know your name. Like,
Good mate of ours who's going to come on the show at some point is in the service department there, I believe.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, or parts department, Meerkat.
Oh, yeah, what a legend. Yeah, Nath is a ripper.
Yeah, Cat's going on the show.
Well, that's who the fundraiser was for, his sister. We did that 2.5 years ago now, but we sort of got to know him a bit more after the time, and we always have a laugh with Nate. He's
good.
Yeah.
He is a good dude. Finally, what does the term twist the throttle mean to you?
Go hard or off.
Keep up.
You know what? Since I've had ape hangers, man, you really know how far it can go, because you got to land the elbow right down and give it just enjoy twisting it. I think it's great. And I think what you're doing is great, and this kind of stuff.
It's our way of giving back. We're not experts. We're not trained. We've got a couple of people coming on who have got those degrees and all the rest of it. We just
open up
want to open up
conversation.
Conversation. Yeah. Meet different guys like you, bring you in, you tell your story. If that connects with one person, we've done our job.
That's it, mate. 100%. Yeah.
We're not making money on this. Probably never will. It's costing me more than fucking.
It just takes that one bloody bloke to find it, though, and then everyone's got it, and I'll be promoting it because
blows up and goes viral.
Well, that's it, mate.
You can say I was part of the OT crew.
We might get some free test rides.
Yeah.
I'd probably get every time I might.
Yeah, Geelong Harley.
Geelong Harley.
Triumph Rocket 3, new ones coming out.
Mate, thank you so much for making the effort to come down.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, listeners, for being on board with us. We look forward to your comments.
Jump on our socials. We'll chuck up a couple of photos of Steve's bikes and whatever else he wants to share.
Thanks a lot, Steve.
All good.
No worries. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Thanks for riding with us today on Twist the Throttle. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your crew. Remember, no matter how tough the road gets, you're never riding alone. Stay safe, stay open, and catch you on the next ride. Keep that throttle twisted.